97-1 the tip. Hey, there's always that one team that ruins your bracket. This year, it's a handful of teams. Kansas, they gone. Iowa, they gone. And that's why this year, you should be betting the tournament on FanDuel Sportsbook, America's #1 sportsbook. Because on FanDuel, your first bet is risk-free. It doesn't matter if you're betting on a Cinderella team to make a run or a #1 seed. New users get up to $1,000 back in site credit if your first bet doesn't win. FanDuel has odds on all the action games day and night. An easy-to-use app, multiple deposits, and fast withdrawals. Always on promotions. Your next chance to win on FanDuel is only minutes away. And if that's not enough, FanDuel wants to make you a millionaire. They're giving away $1 million to one lucky bettor. It doesn't matter if you're a new or existing user. You get an additional shot at the payout every day you bet the tournament. So if you bet, and if you want a shot at becoming a millionaire, download the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Just use promo code Jansen so they know I sent you. That's FanDuel Sportsbook promo code Jansen. Must be 21 or over. Present in Michigan. No purchase necessary. Restrictions apply for $1 million drawing. Risk-free offer for first online real money wager only. Site credit is non-withdrawable and expires in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problems? Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJOL Safety Traffic Center, this report brought to you by Expert Heating and Cooling. The 75 Big Beaver interchange is now open, although lane closures remain on Big Beaver under I-75 for the next couple of weeks. Coming up this morning, 75 both directions. The entrance and exit ramps at Crooks will be closed as part of construction through early April. Ramp traffic can still use the new 75 Big Beaver interchange. I'm Michelle with traffic.
The way you can take 97.1 The Ticket with you is the radio.com app. Download it today and listen to us anytime, anywhere.
University of Michigan. They win over LSU 86-78. We're talking about it. Shawnee Brown, 21 off the bench. Eli Brooks, who, I don't know, look, he's been playing really, really well. I never was a huge fan of his. I just thought he was too passive at times, too inconsistent. I mean, talking about previous years, but he really proved his mettle with leadership this season. Let's go to Kevin in Sterling Heights. What's up?
Hey, good morning, guys. One comment on last night's game. I thought overall it was bad whistle. Kind of, there were a lot of teams that fouls and bad runs that they had to keep them under control. But that's my overall impression. And at the end, I don't think it was for either team. I just thought it was bad whistle. But I was looking at the teams this morning on ESPN and a few other places.
Yeah.
Michigan, for Michigan to win, it's conceivable they're going to have to beat, they're number 3 left seeded. They're going to have to beat number 7, number 4, number 1, and then number 2 if Baylor makes it through their side of the bracket, which should happen. And that's just an incredible feat to try to accomplish. Obviously, there's a lot of other teams that were seeded too low, but none of the teams that they potentially have to play that I'm referring to, Florida State, Bama, Gonzaga, and then Baylor.
Oh, I know.
They were all seeded properly at the beginning of the tournament.
Yes, they were. You might want to say Florida State maybe seeded. It could have been seeded higher possibly, but yeah, they have a really tough road to hoe. I mean, when Alabama is on and they chuck up a lot of shots. I'm not looking past Florida State by any means. Alabama's really, really good, as opposed to some of the other, some of the other, 1 seeds. They have much easier competition, I would say. We have some good ticket texts here. Good morning, Jansen. I'm 41 and I'm well aware of Hans and Franz because I'm not a baby mod. Love the show. My name is Grand Blank. Franz Wagner showed why he is a lottery draft prospect. Brooks and Brown did what was needed with your star down. Really? Look, he played good when it counted at the end. I don't think he showed that he was a lottery prospect. Somebody else says, I thought Wagner was the worst player on the court last night. I'm not seeing the lottery line. Michigan still found a way with his play until the last few minutes. One of your players not getting a personal foul is more valuable than 2 points at the end of the first half. That's from Mike in Ann Arbor, and another Mike says, I'm impressed Stoney waited all the way till 6:45 before starting nitpicking. And just kidding. Yeah, I said I was nitpicking a little bit, but yeah, that's it. Doug brought that out as well. It's a trade-off. My solution is, especially when it came after a timeout, is you bring somebody off the bench and tell them, look, when this guy gets the ball, whoever gets the ball, you foul him. You don't let him get a shot off. That's just me. But there are people, Juwan obviously picks the other side of the strategy. Watching Michigan play LSU, I felt like I was watching them. Remember who they were. As the first half wound down, they got more into their defense and looked like they did during the season. They started to play inspired again. That's from Ramon and Waterford. There's no doubt about it. That's what they did. And finally, I think this person agrees with Gov. Can't believe LSU quit with 18 seconds left. That was strange. I mean, you never know what's going to happen. Guys can, choke and miss free throws. We've seen that before, right?
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen, but you're in the tournament, right? And if you don't win, your season is done. So, exhaust every opportunity, use every foul, use every timeout, use everything you can when it comes to the end.
Maybe Will Wade is just happy he's not in the
Yeah.
Maybe he had Michigan points. Hey, I just going to say, they're going to need people to step up and play like Shawnee Brown did last night.
Yeah.
Every single game, somebody's going to have to do it. And you can look back on past tournament runs, and it's happened. I mean, Jordan Poole saved them years ago. Like a miracle.
Yeah.
And he wasn't their best player on the team by far. He was a role player.
Right, he was a freshman, right?
Yes.
I mean, he went to the NBA because of it. I mean, Beeline, the narrative of Beeline is completely different. He doesn't make that shot. You can go back in passes. I remember the Fab Five run in '92. Eric Riley played some huge minutes in a regional game. Freddie Hunter stepped up. James Voskuhl in the game against Cincinnati in the semifinal.
Look at Michigan State. Look, he was a starter, but A.J. Granger, if he doesn't have the tournament he has, I mean, they don't win.
I mean, Goran Sutan really amped his game up in 2009. You got to have that, regardless of who you are, but especially in Michigan's situation with Livers.
Yeah. Now, yesterday, Oregon just destroyed Iowa despite 36 from Garza. I mean, he was incredible because he's the best player in college basketball. I still don't think he's a first-round draft choice, but you never know because he at least can shoot from the outside as opposed to, like, people sitting there, I don't think what's he going to be in the NBA? So, maybe not much, but you know what? Who cares? I don't think people here are worried about Hunter Dickinson's NBA stock. But the Big Ten and Maryland lost, so they're done. I think, I said this yesterday, was the Big Ten a little overrated? Maybe. But I just think sometimes teams, especially this year, teams get in a roll. Strange things happen. Look at the Pac-12. The Pac-12 that great. They got 4 teams in the Sweet 16. Oregon was on a roll. They got paused, so everybody forgot about them. And you look at what that...
They got to buy in the first round.
Yes, and Dana Altman is a really good coach. I mean, we saw that in person last year, Gov. We went to that Oregon-Michigan game, how good that team was. And they fill with, like, transfers and young players. He's got the kid from Rutgers transferred. He's made a lot of impact. They got a kid from, actually played at Farmington North High School, Amari Hardy, who transferred from UNLV to Oregon. So Oregon's got, and USC, man, the Mobley brothers. I mean, Evan Mobley's going to be a top 3 pick in the NBA. I mean, he's incredible. The length on that team, so the Pac-12. I mean, the biggest surprise is Oregon State, because they just got hot and started hitting threes, which they really didn't do. But other than that, the Big Ten. Look, Illinois and Ohio State's the biggest one to me, because they lost to a team that was a 15 seed. And it would be great to see Oral Roberts, keep going. That would be fun. But
and you missed, obviously you talked about 3 of the 4 teams in the Pac-12, but UCLA and their cheerleading section led by Mick Cronin's dad.
Yes,
you can't miss out on that either.
I know. I can't wait to see. Can they play Loyola of Chicago early on? I don't know.
No, I think that'll be a
finals
matchup.
Yes, so Mick Cronin versus Sister Jean. Wow.
Did you hear Mike yesterday talking about how he can't stand Sister G?
I heard him tease it, but I didn't hear the whole thing.
He wasn't being mean about it. He's just...
People are sick. Look, a lot of things. People get sick of stuff when it's,
What? How can you be sick of a 101-year-old sweet nun?
I can't.
How can you be annoyed by that?
Because you went through the whole story, 4 years ago, whenever it was?
2018.
Yeah. So do we have to see the same story?
She's 101.
Okay. Congratulations. She's 101. But I wouldn't rip on her. I understand how certain things, bother people. Believe me.
Yeah.
I bother a lot of people. And I'm closer to Sister Jean's age than you are. All right. Our telephone number is 248-539-9797. Coming up next, the newest member of the Detroit Lions, one of them, met the media yesterday, and he certainly has an engaging personality. We'll hear some of him next. 97.1 The Ticket.
WXYT FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit. A radio.com sports station. Sports headlines all day, every day. From the Sold by YC Sports Desk. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
Michigan advances to the Sweet 16 for a 4th straight NCAA tournament as the Wolverines down LSU 86-78 last night's 2nd round of the East Regional. Eli Brooks had 21 points to lead Michigan's offensive attack, while Cam Thomas notched a game-high 30 points in the losing effort for LSU. The Wolverines will now take on Florida State in the Sweet 16. That game will take place Sunday night in Indianapolis. Tip-off will take place at 5. Also advancing to the Sweet 16 yesterday, Gonzaga. The Bulldogs, the #1 ranked team in all of college basketball, rolled past Oklahoma 87-71. Matthew Boyd has been chosen to start for the Tigers on opening day, which is set to take place next week at Comerica Park against the Cleveland Indians. Afterwards, manager A.J. Hinch outlined for reporters some of the reasons why he chose the veteran left-hander.
There's a responsibility that comes with being the opening day guy. It doesn't have to be the leader. It doesn't have to be the most outspoken guy. It doesn't even have to be the best guy. But he has to be able to emotionally handle all the hoopla that comes with opening day, the family, the friends, the general excitement, the butterflies that come with opening day.
This will be the second straight opening day assignment for Boyd, who will be matched up against last year's Cy Young Award winner, the Indians' Shane Bieber. The Red Wings are back in game action tonight as they clash with the Nashville Predators in Nashville. Our coverage starts at 7:45. The basketball world remains in mourning today over the passing of Hall of Famer Elgin Baylor, who died at his home in Los Angeles on Monday at the age of 86. Baylor was one of just 4 players in NBA history that would average 25 points and 10 rebounds throughout their entire career. From the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Tony Ortiz. For more, stay tuned to 97.1 The Ticket and radio.com.
Live from the Jamie Samuelson Studio, Stoney and Jansen on 97.1 The Ticket.
And you see, Elgin Baylor, right? Great player. Never won a championship. People forget about that. They always assume him and Jerry West and Wilt, the year they won. No, he was not on the team that finally did beat the Celtics. Our telephone number is 248-539-9797. AJ Hinch will join us coming up at 8 o'clock. And I'll touch on something else. Tony talked about Matthew Boyd is the opening day starter. Tigers have some decisions they have to make roster-wise. We'll get into that with the Tigers manager. Free agency still going on in the National Football League. The Lions introduced 3 of their latest acquisitions to the media yesterday. Charles Harris, the defensive lineman that they picked up, who played for Atlanta last. Michael Brockers, who was very engaging. And Jamal Williams, the running back that they got from the Green Bay Packers, who I heard had a really good personality, but didn't realize it was as good as it really was. I mean, he dances right before every Packer game, pre-game, and he's a bubbly guy, and he was very honest during the Zoom press conference. I mean, he was talking about, if he was hurt with the Packers let him go. And he said, yeah, kind of was. And usually these guys don't say that kind of stuff. He was really, really good. But it was interesting because on a Zoom press conference, especially for a new person who has no idea who's asking him these questions, so you have obviously the screen, and you have all the, there's like 2 pages of people, like about 20-some people who are participating. So the first person to ask him a question, now, Mike O'Hara. Mike O'Hara is one of the few out there, older than me, so his hair is a little grayer than I am. So the first question was to from Mike O'Hara.
Hello, sorry to be clean shaven, but I'm getting old and I can't do that every day.
Hey, you looking mighty fine over there, Silver Fox. You looking great, sir.
Silver Fox.
Silver Fox. He called Mike O'Hara the Silver Fox. You gotta like that. You gotta like guys with personality. You gotta like if he scores more touchdowns later in the season. But that's even more important, obviously.
Yeah, a little quick wit, a little personality.
Absolutely. So then the next person to speak, also from DetroitLions.com, was Tim Twentyman. That's right, Twentyman. He used to write for the Detroit News. He's been with the Lions website for a long time. Does a really nice job. His name is a little unique, as Jamal Williams let us know.
Hello, sorry to be clean shaven, but I'm getting old and I can't do that every day.
Hey, you looking mighty fine over there, Silver Fox. You looking great, sir.
Silver Fox.
Here we go. Here's the Tim Twentyman.
Hey, Jamal, welcome to Detroit.
What's happening? What's your name?
20 Man. You come up with a joke I haven't heard of.
20 Man? Hey, you already got a nickname. That's crazy. 20 Man. I like that.
My actual name.
That's your name?
Yes, my last name, Tim 20 Man.
Did you change that
Old English.
For real?
Yeah, for real. Like I said, you come on now.